Okay, let's get started. This is one of my first videos, so if I look a little awkward, it's probably because I am. Greetings, fellow Matadors. My name is Brian. I'm one of the career counselors at the CSUN Career Center. Today we're doing a short segment on virtual networking. Before I get started, I want to extend my best wishes to everybody out there. I hope that you are all staying safe and healthy during this coronavirus pandemic. I would much prefer to be able to meet with you in person on campus, but I do want to remind you that all of us at the Career Center are working. We may not be physically on the campus, but we continue to be here to serve you, so by all means reach out to us as you need to. What we're going through with this coronavirus pandemic is certainly unprecedented. It's changed the way that we live. It's changed the way that we work. As I'm sitting here in my home office, if you will, it's changed the way that we all look at the world around us. I think of things like even shaking hands. I mean, that's something that we have stressed to people in preparing for interviews and networking. And right now, shaking hands is even scary. So go figure. But one thing that has stood out, and it's really become painfully obvious to probably all of us, is that we're all feeling kind of lonely. We're missing that human contact. It was kind of cool to not have to go in the office maybe the first couple days or so. It's kind of cool to not have to go to class. And after a while, though, you start to kind of miss some of those nuances, those social interactions. But this is not the time to discount networking. You can still network with people, but you're going to be doing things a little bit differently. You're going to be reaching out to people virtually rather than in person. I want to share 5 tips that were posted by Ayanna Perkins. It was on her LinkedIn page, so I'm going to give credit where credit is due because I didn't come up with the stuff myself, so I want to give credit to Ayanna. And I'm going to start off with my little spiel about networking. We at the Career Center have always stressed the virtues of networking. If you think about it, most people, including yourselves, you've probably gotten an opportunity through word of mouth. You didn't find the job through a posting. You probably knew somebody who knew somebody who knew about an opportunity, and you managed to take advantage of that. That's the case in the best of times, and it also continues to be the case in the worst of times. What has changed, though, in this situation is how we're doing that networking. Preferably, when you're networking, it's face-to-face contact. But for now, we're going to kind of put that stuff on hold, and we're going to take advantage of some of the social networking that we can do virtually. So, tip number 1, use your social networks to network. Your primary professional social networking tool for connecting is probably going to be LinkedIn. But you can also be using Twitter and Instagram, following posts, sharing, resharing, and commenting on posts that are professional in nature. It's a great way to connect. It's a great way to stay connected. So recommend it, go ahead and amp up your social networking. Okay. Number 2. And this is about sharing useful and interesting information. The most effective networkers are the ones that share information in a useful, accurate, and above all, timely manner. So a lot of this is about the timing. We recommend that you join some of the online groups that have posts about your professional interests. Again, LinkedIn is probably going to be your best resource for this, but I find a lot of very interesting stuff on Twitter and Instagram as well. If you see a question that's posted and you know the answer, please share it. You're not only just helping somebody out, but you're also expanding upon those professional relationships. Now, I'm going to use an example. I'm sure we're all very familiar with Zoom at this point. Well, Zoom is in a position where they've had to take on a lot more than they were equipped to handle, and I think they're kind of working some things out, and hopefully it's all for the best. But back in December of 2019, Zoom had approximately 10 million users daily. As of April 1st of this year, 2020, they have over 200 million. Those of us, like myself, they're really not well equipped to be using Zoom right out of the box and kind of fumbling as we're going along. We are eternally grateful to those people who have shared little tips and tricks that have made our lives easier. And we're going to remember those folks down the road because they've really made a difference in our lives. So that was tip number 2. Tip number 3, and this is particularly important for those of us that are staying home. Some of us, are out there working as essential workers. Those of us that are working from home, we still got to eat, right? So you can have 15-minute lunch meetings on Zoom, Google, FaceTime, whatever you like. It's a great way to reconnect with people, have a little bit of fun. Do keep in mind that if you're having a lunch meeting virtually, that the same etiquette rules apply, so please no talking with your mouth full of food. Okay. Number 4. And this goes back to webinars and Zoom meetings, which, we're probably having more than our fill of those at this point. But if you've ever sat in on a Zoom meeting and you've looked around and you've looked at the faces on the videos, that some people are a little more engaged than others. Some people are kind of checked out, maybe falling asleep, etc. Remember, you're on camera, okay? So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're all in, or at least give the appearance of being all in and being attentive to the conversation that is at hand. That energy can be contagious. The people that look alive and alert and are asking good questions and are contributing, that's a way to keep things going. Those of us that are falling asleep, while it's kind of funny, at least in the moment, that's really not the best way to go. Also, those that are engaged in those conversations, they're also demonstrating their leadership abilities as well. The people that really kind of step up to the plate. So do the best you can. Suit up, show up, try to, I get it. Okay, I sit through them too, and half the time I really just want to kind of press the button and take me off of video because I'm just pooped at that point. So I get it. But this is a great place, a great venue for us to expand upon our virtual networking as well, especially when you've got over 100 people in the meeting. All right, moving on. Tip number 5. And again, thank you, Ayana. Okay, this is a great opportunity to set up a virtual information interview. We're always recommending information interviews because it gives you the opportunity to reach out to a professional and kind of pick their brains a little bit about their profession, how they got interested in it, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, what they might recommend to you as somebody that is interested in a particular profession. You can be reaching out to people via email. It's probably the easiest way right now to reach out to people. There is a risk, I guess, that you send out an email and it gets kind of lost in the shuffle. But I know that I'm having to check, doing double time on checking emails right now. It's the primary way that people are getting in touch with me at this point. And you can start off an email doing something simple. And I'm going to read off what I wrote down that I pulled from Ayana's page. And it goes something like this. So, hello, my name is Brian, and I'm a senior at Cal State Northridge, majoring in child and adolescent development. I have a passion for working with children, and I'm really interested to learn more about operating a daycare center. I've learned that you are the director of daycare, and I was wondering if you could spare 5 to 10 minutes of your time to talk via phone, email, or Zoom about your career. Sincerely, Brian. Okay. Starting that conversation. One of the things that those of us that have done information interviews is that the hardest part is actually reaching out to somebody. The easiest part is once you get to have a conversation with them, people usually love to talk about themselves. Okay, so at that point, it's kind of a piece of cake, and I'm included in that. People set up information interviews with me all the time, and I just start talking, and they're pretty much just want me to shut up after a certain point. Okay, so those are the 5 tips that I wanted to share with you today. We're going to continue to do these short broadcasts. That's about it for right now. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to hold up my email address. So it's bfink@csun.edu. If you have any questions regarding your career development, reach out to me, reach out to any of us at the Career Center. Until next time, please stay safe, please stay sane, and above all, stay healthy. Thank you for listening.